Before we get to the content, I want to remind you guys that we are giving away 3 digital PlayStation 5s to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. All you have to do is hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, and sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm for a chance to enter to win a digital PS5. If you want additional entries, I highly recommend following us on Instagram and Twitter because we're going to do additional giveaways on those platforms as well. And I'd like to give a brief shout out to Aaron LaHaye and Nelson Ritchie for joining our Mike Mafia membership program as Mike Mafia soldiers. Thank you for contributing to my ability to do this full time. Now that we got all that out of the way, break! The other day, my friend asked me what I was doing on Sunday, and bear in mind, this friend of mine is not a fan of football at all whatsoever, and I told him I was watching the Super Bowl, and he asked me if this Super Bowl was going to be any good. And essentially what I explained to him, because he was a NBA fan, is this year's Super Bowl is the equivalent of Michael Jordan playing against LeBron James in the Super Bowl. And I don't think that we will be getting a Super Bowl like this anytime soon, and we should not take it for granted. Because in my opinion, Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time, and he has won 6 Super Bowls leading up to this matchup. On the other hand, you have Patrick Mahomes, who has single-digit losses throughout his career. This is a man that had the opportunity to win his 2nd Super Bowl before he even got to double-digit losses. This is a man that won a NFL MVP and made it to 2 Super Bowls in just 3 years. We haven't seen a player get off to this type of start in his NFL career since Tom Brady. And even Tom Brady, his dominance wasn't necessarily shown until a couple of seasons in his career. Yes, Tom Brady did win the Super Bowl 3 times within his first 4 years as a NFL starter, but he didn't do it at the rate that Patrick Mahomes did, with the precision that Patrick Mahomes did, and the dominance that Patrick Mahomes had. Tom Brady did look human throughout his first 4 years in the NFL. And no, this isn't recency bias. Looking at his statistics, you could even tell his completion percentage numbers were down during his first Super Bowl run. But then again, this is a 6th round pick that literally was able to get the Patriots to 3 Lombardis in his first 4 years in the NFL. And I'm not saying this as a knock on Brady. I'm saying this more so you guys can appreciate how remarkable this Super Bowl matchup was. The greatest thing that Tom Brady has going for him isn't necessarily the way he performs in the regular season, rather how he performs in specific football instances and being a master of various football scenarios. Tom Brady is the king of situational football and is a master tactician when he's on the football field. And he's been a master tactician of how to maintain his career for over 20 years. The feat of making it to 10 Super Bowls in of itself is absolutely astonishing and should immediately put away the critics that say that Tom Brady was a system quarterback. Because Tom Brady wasn't a system quarterback in New England, he was the system in New England. The whole concept of taking pay cuts for the betterment of the team, of putting your head down and working, many people believe was created by Bill Belichick. But if it wasn't for Tom Brady embracing that way, do you think other members of his team would be so willing to take pay cuts to join him? Do you think Antonio Brown would have signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the veteran minimum in order to join Tom Brady if it wasn't for that precedent that was set before him? How about players like Leonard Fournette? But on the other side of the football field, you have a player that is reinventing the way that football is meant to be played. A player that has made the term backyard football extremely popular amongst the NFL, and a player that most NFL scouts are searching for the next version of, in Patrick Mahomes, a player that seems to be an absolute robot on the football field that can either make plays with his arm, mobility, and his ability to manipulate and pick apart defenses that is coupled with one of the greatest play designers in NFL history. Now, what does this Super Bowl victory over Patrick Mahomes say for Tom Brady's NFL career? At this point, like I said before, Tom Brady's legacy is already cemented in stone as the greatest NFL player of all time. And that would have been whether he won this Super Bowl or lost the Super Bowl. However, there was one little asterisk that was on Tom Brady's career that people that were Tom Brady haters or people that were digging for things to say about Tom Brady would bring up every single time they even mentioned Tom Brady. And that's the fact that Tom Brady was a system quarterback that was really dependent upon Bill Belichick's tactics in order to win Super Bowls. And while there may be a little bit of truth to that in the past, for example, the Super Bowl victory against the LA Rams was mainly won because Bill Belichick had the perfect answer to Sean McVay's jet motion offense. Tom Brady's Super Bowl victory against the Seattle Seahawks was saved by a game-changing play by Malcolm Butler. But at the same time, Tom Brady's Super Bowl victory against the Atlanta Falcons when he came back 28-3 was 100% because of Tom Brady's incredible heroic effort, and it was that effort that cemented himself as the GOAT in my book. Here's something that a lot of people don't understand. Tom Brady's talent in terms of football stretches way beyond the scope of what he does on the field. He knows how to put himself into positions of success. For example, leaving the New England Patriots when things were clearly trending downward. He saw that the offense was completely devoid of talent, the defense wasn't going to come back this year, and of course they weren't nearly what they once were, and that if he wanted a chance to compete, he needed significantly more pieces around him. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers already had a remarkable defense with players like Ndamukong Suh and Shaq Barrett and Jason Pierre-Paul. They were able to add Antoine Winfield Jr. in this offseason, and Sean Murphy-Bunting was one of the biggest heroes of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense throughout the entire NFL playoffs. And that's before we get to the offense, where the offense already boasted the likes of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They had a first-round tight end in O.J. Howard. They had Cameron Brate, who was also fairly serviceable in his own right, and Tom Brady was able to recruit players like Rob Gronkowski to come through. Eventually, people started hopping aboard the bandwagon. Leonard Fournette decided to take a pay cut to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Antonio Brown decided to sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hell, even Josh Rosen joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers practice squad just so he could watch how Tom Brady prepares himself. Tom Brady knows how to put himself in the greatest situation to win football games. He's able to skew things in his favor, and although most of his Super Bowl victories aren't as a result of him directly beating and demolishing each and every team he faces against, at the end of the day, he knows exactly what needs to be done in order to win a Super Bowl. And the greatest example of this could be taken from a Super Bowl loss that he's had. Tom Brady's greatest Super Bowl stat line came against the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 52, when he was 28 of 48 in passing, threw for over 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and had a 115.4 rating. Despite that, the New England Patriots still lost. Then you compare that to his Super Bowl where the New England Patriots beat the LA Rams 13-3, where he threw 1 interception, 0 touchdowns, was 21 of 35 for passing, and had 262 passing yards, and that resulted in him winning a Super Bowl. Needless to say, I'm enamored by his ability to get into the best situation to succeed, and it's just a testament to his abilities not only on the football field, but it stretches beyond the football field as well. This is a man that knows what needs to be done in order to get to the Super Bowl and win Super Bowls, which is fitting because Tom Brady is the king of situational football. This victory, he becomes the oldest player to ever win a Super Bowl, winning Bruce Arians his first Super Bowl and Antonio Brown his first Super Bowl, alongside a player that already failed in the Super Bowl that faced him in the Super Bowl in Ndamukong Suh, and he shut up everyone that doubted him and his abilities as a member of the Tampa Bay Bay Buccaneers. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about Tom Brady's performance in the Super Bowl? Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.